Welcome back to another edition of Nerds on the Block. Today we got news of Resident Evil 8 Village and other details for their 25th anniversary. More on that next. The Resident Evil Direct started with a new trailer from Resident Evil 8 Village. We got a little bit more info on Ethan Winters, why he's there, and Mia Winters, and we got to see more of Chris Redfield and the antagonist of the story. What was your overall impressions of the trailer, Shamar?
Yeah, I'm a lot more excited about the game than I was earlier, 'cause before I didn't even know what to expect from this game. But now seeing a little more detail, I'm a little more excited about what's going to be happening in Resident Evil 8 now. It's still left a lot more questions than answers, but ultimately it was a pretty solid trailer. I mean, the event overall was kind of a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be honest. But I mean, we still got some sort of details as to where the game's going to be taking. So, I'm excited to see, what we're going to get come May.
Yeah, because looking off Resident Evil 7, obviously there's fans of that game. It did a lot of good for the Resident Evil franchise and bringing back atmospheric elements back into Resident Evil. But when it comes to even enemy variety, just seeing that from the trailer alone, it gets me excited again to see, this is why people get excited for Resident Evil games, the BOWs, seeing this tyrant, werewolf-looking creature walk towards you all menacingly. It's what am I going to do? It's you kind of feel like you're backing into a wall, and it's you feel cornered. And I think that's the feeling or the element Resident Evil was missing. I did not like the moles in Resident Evil 7. It's I felt they were so forgettable. Enemies that you come across, and obviously it's the family in the first game that actually sold that title. But with Resident Evil 8, you're seeing instances where it's they're touching on Code Veronica.
Yeah, I seen that the Resident Evil 4 suitcase thing, the little Tetris suitcase they did in Resident Evil 4. So I thought that was a really cool idea to implement that back into it again. And it just looked like a way better step in the right direction as opposed to 7. Because we played 7, and honestly, I just wasn't interested in that game at all. A good try nonetheless, but it just didn't feel, I don't know, a lot of people might argue with me and say that 7 did feel like a Resident Evil game, and it felt a lot better than what they did in 5 and 6. And at the end of the day, to each their own. 7, I just, introducing a new character like Ethan Winters, it just, he just didn't resonate with me. I didn't feel like by the end of the game, I didn't feel like, I cared about him more than when I did coming into this game. And they're trying the Ethan Winters thing again. Maybe they might do a better job at getting me to care about this guy more this time around than the first time, because the graphics definitely look a lot better. And this story seems a lot more interesting than what they did in 7. 7's story was, I don't know, I like the idea with the family and, just the whole idea of them being corrupted by this malevolent force. I think that they're doing a lot better job setting up a story and setting up an adventure for Ethan. And, I'm really curious to see as to why did his daughter get taken away? Why are these, this Mother Miranda character that we seem to be getting bombarded with now, what's her story? What's her deal? What's her angle? Why does she want Ethan dead so badly? Because it's pretty apparent in the trailer that she wants Ethan dead, because I guess they were planning on having this guy killed since Resident Evil 7, which is very interesting to me, and they weren't expecting him to survive that whole nightmarish adventure that he went through. And since they couldn't kill his wife, they came after his daughter now. So I'm very curious to see what's the whole story.
So where it's going.
Yeah.
It's because again, the trailer again calls back to even you said Resident Evil 4, even Resident Evil 1 with the decor of the mansion. It's a lot of people were worried about does Ethan Winters have enough layers to be interesting, because the Resident Evil franchise has so many storied characters that people just want to see again and again.
Yeah.
That's why people are more excited for this title, because they have included the fabled Chris Redfield into this game, and it's why did he take his daughter? What purpose? What is going on here? It's they're setting intrigue where you want it.
Yeah.
So overall, I thought the trailer sold, and it's if you just watch the direct just for that, the trailer did enough service for the game. Other things that did get announced were Resident Evil RE Verse, which is some multiplayer game.
I don't know. It looked like a mobile game or something. I don't know what was going on. I was kind of getting a battle royale Resident Evil style vibe from it. Just taking another crack at making another Versus game, it seems. So, or at least another Versus segment within the Resident Evil series, because they've done it before in other games. So I guess they're trying to take another crack at it. But I mean, not exactly impressed with the graphics. The gameplay doesn't really look that exciting, but
no.
I don't know. I guess, you know, we could be wrong. It might be a lot better, you know, on paper than it does, you know, just looking at it from what we got so far.
Yeah, it's free. It comes with when you buy Resident Evil 8, so it's not like you're paying for something like this, but I guess like they didn't sell you on the factor like this is a Resident Evil multiplayer experience. Like they tried this with RE3 with the Raccoon City incident thing that they did in that game, which again didn't hold my attention at all, especially as a big Resident Evil fan. And then with this, it's like they're still using the old Chris Redfield look when it got trashed by fans.
Bruh. What is that?
People do not like when Chris Redfield looks like that. It's like you show a trailer of Chris Redfield looking one way and then you have him looking like the model that confused everybody. That threw me off. Like that event, like just took me out. I don't want to play this at all.
And now it looks like Chris is going to be a werewolf. Like you see that
What's going on?
You see that little picture of like it looked like Chris Redfield's face, and then on the other side it was like a werewolf. So I'm gonna assume they're implying that he becomes a werewolf at some point in this game, and how that even happens, I don't know. I'm very confused as to like how Ethan even ends up in this situation after the first game. That I'm really interested to see, because it seems like such a departure from 7. Like now they're in this like Victorian era-esque
castle.
Yeah, it's like it's gonna be a lot more interesting characters and creatures in this game than we did in 7.
Ethan's gonna be tested in like every factor
for sure.
of this game. It felt like with 7, it's like like he's going up against his family. It felt like he had a fighting chance, but I feel like with this game, it's really gonna actually.
He's got a lot to worry about now.
Yeah.
He seems like.
Absolutely.
I'm very curious. Again, like back to the werewolves thing. It's just like, why is there like it's never been a thing for Resident Evil to include something as random as like werewolves, and who knows what other creatures are going to be thrown into this game, because it's usually zombie or zombie related creatures, but now it seems like they're going like off the rails now. Just anything goes now.
Yeah, and I think with like when you just to call back what you said about the Chris Redfield thing, I feel like this game is going to play on the psychological element of Ethan. It's really going to break down like his mental capacity and like how he's striving or trying to get through this adventure, and you're going to see, you know, quote unquote allies like Chris Redfield maybe perceive in his own eyes that he's against him, or maybe he's taking his daughter to protect him because he sees this man going crazy. You know what I mean? I feel like Chris Redfield wouldn't have that mentality to be like, I'm taking your daughter because for whatever X reason, for BSAA or whatever company I'm working for right now with like Blue Umbrella, all those things. I feel like that plays a factor, but I just don't think Chris Redfield's just going to go off the rails and become this werewolf like demon boss at the end of the game. I don't think it becomes that. I think it's going to be a play of tricks in his head, and like Capcom is just really going to play with that factor.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with this character, because he's the one Resident Evil character that's familiar in this game. So God only knows what they're going to do with him. And if they do make him a villain-esque character in this game, that'd be pretty interesting. And I'd be even more curious to see what the hell his motivations are for even being an antagonist this time around. So very interested.
Yeah, it could be interesting. Yeah. And then the next thing they were talking about is Resident Evil Infinite Darkness. That's going to be coming out this year at some point. We can get no release date, unfortunately, but just him telling that it's coming out this year.
Yeah, that's basically all we got.
Which is pretty sad. Like, I thought they were going to give us maybe a new trailer or just even give us a little bit more details. Like, they kind of just were vague with that, and they kind of threw it under the rug.
It's happening, guys. Don't worry, it's coming.
Yeah, we promise.
It's coming.
What?
I swear.
Yeah.
Sometime this year.
Yeah, like there's other elements about the 25th anniversary. I was really hoping that they would do a little bit more. We did get a Resident Evil 8 demo, exclusive for PlayStation 5 gamers, which again, you know, yourself. I don't have a PlayStation 5, which sucks. Like, I would have liked it, but it does really look like a walking simulator at this point. There's no combat. There's a lot of things that they stripped away from the experience, so that you can kind of just get an idea of what the atmosphere would be like.
Yeah, which is
fine.
I mean, I'm not thrilled about it, but like I'm I'd honestly, to be honest, I'd probably just gonna end up watching somebody play it because like I'm not going out of my way to play that demo. Even if I did have a PS5, it's kind of like, well, I mean, what are you really racing to play? Not much.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, if you want to walk around the mansion that this guy's gonna get murdered in soon, have fun.
Yeah, it honestly looks like it's like, what if someone was going to escape before Ethan got there? That's what it looks like this demo is focusing on. And it's like, okay, like they're gonna go up against the sisters and whoever's in that
a
castle,
walking
and it's like
simulator.
cool. But like you can't really fight against these people. Like, what can you just block? Like, is that the only feature you're really given? And again,
I'm so sad that we didn't really get much from this movie. I wasn't expecting like a lot. I'm just surprised. Like, you know, I was expecting even a release date from the Infinite Darkness Netflix movie that they were supposed to be making. I'm really surprised they didn't even have a release date for that or anything. So, you know, it was a bittersweet presentation. Bittersweet.
yeah, I felt like if I had to give them a grade, like it was about a 7. Like, I wasn't like over zealous or over excited besides the trailer, and like the best part about it too was like the walkthrough, like the good old 5-6 minutes of just like walking through the world and being able to see that there's merchants has made a return as well, and like that's really cool. Last time we got that was Resident Evil 4.
Got something that might interest you.
So, no, it's doing a lot of good things for this game, and it's definitely feeling more like a Resident Evil game. Again, those were our impressions on Resident Evil 8 Village and the Resident Evil 25th anniversary. What did you guys feel while watching that direct? If you are Resident Evil fans, let us know which one's your favorite down below in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe to Nerds on the Block. Thanks for watching. See you later.
Take care, guys.
Yo, you still here, dog? Yo, subscribe to the channel, bro. Make sure you hit that notification bell to stay locked on all of our content when it drops.
What's wrong with you guys?
Yeah, bro.
Block tease on.
Seriously, like, it's so easy, bro. Just click the button, bro.